Good morning, children. This is the part 2 of reproduction in organisms. In part 1 we have studied about the sexual reproduction. Now we are going to study about the sexual reproduction in organisms. Before this, I would like to convey an important message, children. During this COVID-19 outbreak, with the help of limited resources, I am trying to record this video. Please do cooperate. If you have any queries, you can contact me. So let us go into the lesson first. Sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means there is formation of male and female gametes. So these male and female gametes may be produced by the same individual or by different individuals of opposite sex. They may be produced by the same individual. What does it mean? In case of earthworm, for example, earthworm has both male reproductive organs and female reproductive organs. Male part produces male gametes, female part produces female gametes. So it will undergo sexual reproduction. Then in case of human beings, for example, there you can find male produces male gametes, that is sperms, female produces the egg or ovum. So this way, let us see the statement once again. Sexual reproduction involves formation of the male and female gametes either by the same individual or by different individuals of the opposite sex. Okay, so now after formation of the gametes, these gametes will undergo fusion, and this process we call it as fertilization, and because of this we can see the product zygote is formed. This zygote develops into a new organism. So, and based on the lifespan and the life cycle, we can see there are different types of plants, reproduction in flowering plants. Plants have been categorized into 3 types. One is annual plants. These plants complete their life cycle in 1 year. That is, they take birth, grow, they reproduce and give seeds and then die. Example, pea plants, peas, annual plants. Like that we can see biennial plants. Biennial plants, they complete their biological life cycle in 2 years. That is, as I said, they grow, reproduce and die. So onion plants. Perennial plants, they complete their life cycle in more than 2 years, like mango, neem and banyan tree. Like that we can find a number of plants which are taking more time, more than 2 years to complete their life cycles. Those are called perennial plants. In addition to that, there are some unusual phenomena of some flowering plants we can see. That is, one is bamboo species. In bamboo species, they flower only once in their lifetime. That too after 50 years. It means they have a growth period, that is the juvenile phase of 50 years. After completing that 50 years and before 100 years of their life, any time they will be able to flower. Say for example, at the age of 60, 70 or 80, only once they will be flowering. Any time after completing 50 years. And at that time they produce large number of fruits and they die. So this is in case of bamboo plants. Just I would like to pose a question here. So if we are cutting the plant before 50 years itself, this bamboo plant, then how can it flower? How can it continue its species? That we should think about. Then there is second example, Strobilanthes kuntiana. Strobilanthes kuntiana is also called Neelakuranji, which gives blue colored flowers. So it flowers once in 12 years. So the plant flowered during September-October 2006 as per your textbook, and even in 2018 also, after 12 years. So every 12 years it is able to flower. So this way we can find that these two are the special examples of this. So coming to breeding of animals. This is about plants, breeding of animals. Animals we can see on the basis of the time of breeding. Animals are of 2 types, seasonal breeders and continuous breeders. Seasonal breeders, they reproduce at particular period of the year, such as frog, lizards, most birds, deer, etc. And frogs, for example, they breed during rainy season. You must have heard the sounds, frog, and there you can, they will be reproducing. They release the spawn, that is the eggs and all. They will be releasing. They reproduce during that particular season. Those are called seasonal breeders. Continuous breeders. Continuous breeders means once the organisms, once they get their sexual maturity, anytime, that is, they can breed in rainy season also, winter also, summer also. Examples we can see honeybee, queen bees, and poultry birds here, rabbit, mice, cattle, etc. So earlier we had studied about most of the birds there. Here poultry birds, they will be reproduced. They are continuous breeders. So here human beings also, you must have seen, people are born on in different months, that is in January, February, like that. So they are continuous breeders, and that too during sexual, after getting sexual maturity till the end of the sexual maturity. So while doing so, there are some cyclical changes in some mammals we can find. Cyclical changes are of two types. We have studied in the class 11th non-primate mammals and primate mammals. In non-primate mammals, they undergo a special cyclical change which is called estrus cycle or heat period. During that time they reproduce. Example, cow, sheep, dog, tiger, like that. Coming to primate mammals like human beings, monkeys, apes and human beings, they have menstrual cycle in the female. Female undergoes, after getting sexual maturity, at puberty, it starts its menstrual cycles till the end of this menarche. So, till it gets the menopause. There you can find that during this time, it will be undergoing menstrual cycle. During that time, they will be able to reproduce. So, cyclical changes, two types of cyclical changes we can observe. And there is another important point they would like to introduce, that is the sexual reproduction events. What are the different events? Pre-fertilization events, fertilization events, and then post-fertilization events. So, before fertilization, what events will be happening in all organisms? So, one is gametogenesis and gamete transfer. So, formation of gametes, male and female gametes, is called gametogenesis. And these gametes in lower organisms, when you observe, like in alga, cladophora, these gametes will be, both male and female gametes will be looking alike. Morphologically, you cannot distinguish. They look alike in their appearance. These gametes are called homogametes or isogametes. And example, cladophora. In some organisms, like human beings, we can see the male sperm looks different from the ovum. In same way, in plants like fucus, we can see antherozoids, the male gamete, and the female gamete is ovum. So, male gamete looks different from the, morphologically you can distinguish male gamete from the female gamete. These are called heterogametes. So, two types of gametes can form. That is, two types we can see in organisms. That is isogametes, similar type of gametes producing organisms are there. There are some organisms which produce different types of gametes. So, when you see the diversity in sexuality of organisms, so when you observe the sex of the individual, for example, the earthworm is there, this organism, earthworm, we are able to see. In this, we can find that earthworm is internal structure. When you find here, you are able to see it is having testes, that is the male reproductive organs. The other side it is having the ovary also. So both the types of reproductive organs it is having. So this is called as a bisexual animal here, bisexual organism. Coming to this cockroach. This cockroach is having only testes, male reproductive organs. This cockroach is having only ovary, female reproductive organ. So this is called male and this is called female. So here we can find only these organisms are bearing either male or female. So these are called unisexual organisms. Coming to plants like this Cara. In this Cara, we can find that this is bearing oogonium, which is a female sex organ which produces the ovum, male antheridium, which produces the antherozoids, male gametes. So this plant is bearing both the types of sex organs. This is called as monoecious plant. Mono means one. In one plant itself, both the reproductive organs are present. Monoecious plants. Coming to the other organism, Marchantia. Here they have shown Marchantia is a bryophyte. And in this, we cannot distinguish leaves, stems like that. Here this plant has a thallus, expanded thallus is there. During reproductive period, it develops a small stalk, and if it develops a small stalk and bears the female reproductive structure archegonium, the stalk is called archegoniophore, and in this archegonium we can see the egg or ovum formed. Coming to male thallus, it bears a stalk called antheridiophore, because it bears the antheridium. This structure, reproductive organ, is called antheridium. This produces antherozoids, male gametes. So this plant is present as two different morphological forms. So this is called dioecious plant. This is a dioecious plant. This is a monoecious plant. Coming to this flower. Flower is an organ of the plant. Within flower, we can find different parts, male parts and female part. Male part is having the stamens and female part has the carpel or the pistil. So these two are present in this same flower. So such kind of flowers we call them as bisexual flowers. So till here we can stop today, and we can proceed with the next video in the next class.